Hello. Hello, Yuna. Hello, Darkleaf. Hello, Agnolia. Hello, Briley. Hello, Astral. Hello, Sun. Hello, Delilah. Hey, Izu. Hey, Thylacine. Hey, Jasper. Give me 1 second. Open up stream settings. Edit. There we go. Let me link the map call. I believe this one is almost done though, so no open parts, but I will pin it to the chat. To get 2 teeth pulled in a week? Oh no. That is not pleasant. I hope it goes well for you. I had to get... Are they wisdom teeth or are they like baby teeth that haven't gotten out yet? Okay. Cavities. They're removing your whole teeth for a cavity? Is it just a filling or? I mean, that's a... Hopefully you don't need a root canal. Yeah, that's a pretty hard cavity. Hold on, I'm trying to get my line art color again. They're just removing the teeth. I prefer to get them removed than having to deal with tooth pain. Yeah, are they baby teeth, Yuna? I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna have pain with them being removed. And if you get a cavity filled, it's... I mean, I understand if it's like, I understand if it's a baby tooth and they might extract it. Because it's not really worth getting a baby tooth filled most of the time. But that's like... I mean, that's pretty intense. As somebody that's gotten 4 teeth removed at the same time, a la wisdom, it's not a pleasant recovery period. Well... You shouldn't wait until they hurt. My wisdom teeth did not hurt. I will say that if you're in America and your parents do have insurance, I would get them removed before you're 26, so that you can still be on their insurance. It will be a lot less expensive. Okay, I think I need the texture density to be higher. Hold on. Yeah. I did some of these, I did start this one yesterday on my MacBook, and Clip Studio Paint has this really weird thing where I feel like the Mac version of OS, the Mac version and the Windows version of Clip Studio are like ever so slightly different from each other, so I always have to kind of modify my brushes ever so slightly when I decide to bring one over. Apparently scientists are working on a way to regrow teeth. That's pretty crazy. That's some sci-fi level stuff. Are they on the same, you know, are they on the same side or are they on different sides? Same side? Yeah, it'll be, it's a lot less, because you'll still have a whole other side of your mouth that you can, like, chew with and stuff like that, so it won't be too bad. Sharks can regrow teeth. Yes, they can. They have like a conveyor belt of teeth. Persistent toenail infection? Y'all are like racking up those bucks in the doctor's office. I fear for all of your guys' wallets. Scared it's gonna be a... Have you ever been numb before? I'm assuming that... Are you gonna be... So for teeth extraction, I mean, if it's like... For my wisdom teeth, I was put out completely. But for cavity stuff, I'm usually just numb and you genuinely can't feel anything. The only thing that, like, is uncomfortable about it is, like, just the sound. Because it still kind of, like, vibrates into your mind and you're like, it doesn't hurt, it's just, like, weird. I wouldn't be too. Don't be too nervous. Just make sure to take the ibuprofen and, like, they might give you pain stuff afterward, and start taking it before you feel like you need it. Like, before the numbness starts leaving, because it might be sore. Like, I usually get bruised up. if they're working on like the back of my mouth. No, don't take it right before. You'll be numb, and then, after, I don't know if you've ever had, like, the Novocaine, but afterward, you're gonna be numb for a couple of hours. And usually what happens is I come home, I'm still numb, I'll take ibuprofen and I'll fall asleep. And, when I wake up, honestly, the worst part about the Novocaine is like when it's wearing off. I think that's why I just fall asleep, because it just feels really weird. I don't know. It's an interesting experience. But you'll be numb for a couple of hours. It just depends how much, I don't know, it could be longer. It just depends how much they give you. I usually like massage my jaw a little bit while I'm driving home and stuff like that. Okay, Thylacine, can we not talk about toes? Toes are kind of like that one of those things that I don't want to talk about. So we're gonna stop talking about toenail infections. That would be very great, thank you. Numb, can't feel your mouth or anything. I don't know if it's on the top of the roof of your mouth, like where the teeth are, but it definitely feels weirder on the bottom of your mouth. So if they're doing work on your bottom jaw, it's definitely going to feel a little bit more weird than the top of your mouth. In my opinion, it doesn't feel as weird. But that bottom jaw, man. Okay. Your EKG was normal? That's good, that's good. I'm just doing 2 credit borders for this one. I'm doing this one, and I'm gonna finish up the other one I have today. I'm just doing the 2 borders for the thumbnail credits parts, and then the map is almost done, so I mean, I'll offer myself as like a helper if anybody else needs any help, but I genuinely don't think that Lettuce, I think Lettuce has it all running pretty smoothly to finish the last couple parts. But yeah, Lettuce just asked me to do some of the end credits stuff because I really like the map. It's gonna be really cool. I love the premise, love the song. Really like experimental maps. I honestly don't feel like I'm very confident in like creating an experimental part for the video, so it was an honor to just be brought on to do a little... I wanted this to be like a nature sketchbook illustration where like you're seeing you leaves and you're kind of like, you know, those nature sketchbooks where and then you have like the little scientific name next to it. I wanted it to look like that, and then have some like yellow fang and holly leaf motif. Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, I think it's not open for... The last I checked, Lettuce seemed to have a game plan to finish it up, so... I think it'll be out relatively... I mean, it'll be out this year, definitely. I think it's going to be one of the best maps of the year. I love the experimental maps. I wish that there was more projects that were, like, very experimental and, like... I don't know. Symbolic. Oh, you're preparing one? Oh, you'll have to send it over. Like I said, I'm not really confident in my ability to, like, direct and board a really experimental part. Although, I would love to get some more experience, because I do have an experimental map of my own that I would love to host one day, or, like, a project or direct or something. But I've never been able to, like, nail down a good concept that I really... I don't know. I'm trying only to take, like, one part at a time to not overwhelm myself. VHS. I've done a VHS map before. It was a fun one. Very fun style to emulate. Get on. I'm trying to think. I didn't really have an overarching style in mind for the Frostpaw one, other than just... I mean, I have some ideas, but I don't know if I'd make it an encompassing thing. I don't know. I think once I finish the leaf pool part for Dreamy, I'll, like, go hard into pre-producing the Frostpaw enough to, like, get it out. I want to host a map again. I love hosting. I meet so many good friends. Yeah, it was just an OC map. It was done by one of my friends. It was one of the first parts that I really, like... I learned a couple things about After Effects on that part, which... I always enjoy a map part that I can be like, I learned a lot doing this. Thanks! I'm trying a different... It's like a slightly different style, obviously, but it's been fun. It's been fun. I did reference a couple of Black Cat pictures to help paint Yellow Fang and Hollyleaf, obviously. It's fun to do more of a photorealistic cat every once in a while. Yeah, I wanted them to be like this one's the ash fur. I think this one I might make a little bit, kind of want that one to be like Broken Star. So I wanted like maybe Broken Star and then like Ashfur, or I don't know. I was thinking like Leaf Pool or Fire. I don't know. I might do. This one doesn't look like Broken. It's too like not crazy. I might make this one Broken. Maybe I'll make this one green and it'll be like Firestar, and this one can be like Leaf Pool or something. Yeah, they're kind of hidden. But I didn't want them to like... I don't want the credits, the border to really like take over. Obviously, the thumbnails are going to be like front and center. I just want the border to kind of tie it to the rest of the map. So I don't want it to like... It's not going to be animated or anything. I mean, I guess you could do like a boil via After Effects or something if you really wanted to, but... I don't think I'm not the only one on the credits, and I don't think the other people are planning on animating the credits. I feel like, I guess I probably, I don't know. There comes a point where it's like, I guess... In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I could animate this, but does this particular instance, does this situation need the animation? Because the thumbnails are going to be flashing. There's going to be 4 thumbnails on screen that I want people to take a look at. So if the background is also, if the background is moving, then it's taking away from the thumbnails. So in this instance in particular, I don't think that the background should be animated. Because I don't want to take away too much from the thumbnails. Yeah, with like displacement maps and stuff. They're I'm trying to think. I've done it a couple times. Typically I do it with text, but you can do it with like a real image. Yeah. I don't think that this one needs animated. I feel like you could put some noise on it, maybe. You could do some, like, little tiny After Effects stuff, but I just don't think it needs it. Which is good, because I don't feel like animating. I guess I'm also kind of projecting that I never overproduce my credits in general to it. I can't remember. I got like a whole entire prompt from Lettuce, but I can't remember exactly. I just remember it had general like inspiration ideas and like themes and vibes. It would be amazing if the eye varied. Well, when I looked, if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw my pause, but when I like went over to look at Yellow Fang and stuff, I was like, I feel like I could probably make like the eyes blink, but then I'm like sitting here like, oh my god, do I really want to like, ugh, no. I have to... Oh. I genuinely don't remember what the Five Giants credits looks like. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's also because I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've actually sat through a map's entire credit sequence, including my own. I'm like, as soon as the credits hit, I'm like, I'm out of here. Bye. That's why I make them as short as possible. I'm like, you get one screen. I mean, I don't even really watch the credits that are like next up forever. I think I might have watched those credits. I don't know, man. I just... I overproduced my credits once, and I was like, wow, that was... amusing, and then I'm like, all right, now I never have to do it again. Saturday. Why? Not sure when. I guess, I mean, is it public? Oh yeah, it was set on Instagram, right? Or is it secret? It was revealed in the Q&A. Okay, yeah. I will be on Saturday. On Saturday, I will be on a Warrior Cat animated stream on the Warrior Cat animated YouTube channel. I will be working on painting a background. So if you like watching me paint layouts on Saturday, I am scheduled for at least probably an hour. So check that out. Yeah, it's on Saturday. I think I'm the one that's going to be hosting it. So obviously I stream on Sundays, so we usually don't try not to stream on Sundays. Because I can't double stream. I can't double host. I only have one OBS. But yes, look forward to that. That'll be a long stream. Those streams are usually like 8 hours or something crazy. It'll be super fun. It's just because the people that usually host it, it's not going to be on this channel. I'm just going to be running OBS, I think. I think it's because the person that usually runs it might be busy that day. I might not. All I know is I have to get a crash course in it. Would be nice. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes they're like they're not heavily advertised as like we're going to be doing one, I think. So that's why I was like, oh, I didn't know if it was advertised or not. Because sometimes it's just like happens. Yeah, I can't remember the last time. We did one. Yeah. $4 months. Yeah, okay, yeah, because we did one when applications were open. So yeah, it was probably like in February or something. Eight hours is like a school day. Most of us, I think there's only a couple of people that actually stay for the whole stream. I know that Toon talks the whole stream, so she's usually there for the whole time. But I feel like she usually isn't doing anything on, like, she's usually just talking, and she's not doing any of the drawing or anything. So I feel like it helps manage like the long runtime by kind of separating entertaining the chat, keeping an eye out on chat, and then also like drawing. So okay, I think it's all okay. Well, on the Workout animated streams, typically people only get slotted for like 2 hours each. So I think the majority of us that stream on that one, for me, I mean, I used to only be able to stream for 3 hours. 3 hours. You kind of just like, you build up the endurance. You can't just start out streaming for like 4, 5, 6 hours. It's definitely something that you build up. Oops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. That's really great, thank you. I want to draw... Okay, lock this one so that doesn't happen again. Thank you. Hey, fam. Get the sticks going. There are definitely ways to save yourself if you accidentally drew on the same layer, but most of the time I'm pretty vigilant in making sure to check. But yes, it can be very detrimental. Like, there's a way to save your line art if you accidentally draw it on your sketch layer, depending on what program you're using and stuff like that. Oops. However, what has been happening to me lately is accidentally not saving before I close when I'm not working on a cloud document that automatically saves for me. I'm so used to working on like cloud that sometimes when it says, do you wish to save your progress? I'm like, nah, it's fine. It's been auto-saving. And then it's like, no, it hasn't. And then, you know, I lose all my progress of like the 4 hours I drew. That's not good. That's not a pleasant experience. It's happened to me twice this year already. When will I learn that my actions have consequences? Just cleaning up the details a little bit before I start coloring in the needles. Insert Vine audio here. Yep. Stop working on the drawing. Well, both times that it happened to me, I was working on an NDA project where I'm just like, all right. One of the times it was a storyboard animatic, and I was like, I had saved the video. What happened was I had exported the video, so I have the video, I just don't have the raw file. So I was like, So I can just like screenshot from the video and like continue. But the other time I was working on a Werecat animated painting. And I had finished it and I exported the PNG. I can actually show you the painting. I just don't, it's on this computer, but I had finished my painting. I exported it as a PNG to send it in for review. And then I closed the file and it was not on my Creative Cloud. And so now I just have the PNG and I have to repaint it. To make the folders and ground plane separate. That one I have not I did that back in like January and I still haven't opened that file. Hey, Afu. I got inverted leopard star during my little cloud bot roll and someone got regular within the same hour. I love when that happens. Or have you ever like rolled in the little cloud bot and you've gotten 2 of the same character at, like back to back and you're like, it's happened to me. I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare, but when it happens, you're like, what? Remind me of the time I was working on boards for a class and I was coloring the base color. As I closed the file, I pressed do not save without thinking and had to redo it all. That's what happens. You press do not save, you're not thinking, and you're like, wait, hold on, I didn't mean to do that. Ah! And you open the file because you're like, well, maybe it just autosaved. Maybe I didn't lose any progress. Maybe I didn't. You go through like the 5 stages of grief until you get to acceptance. And it all happens like within like the span of like 10 seconds. They should add 3, are you sure? I feel like I need like in bright, big, bold, bright letters flashing at the top of the save screen. It needs to say, you have not saved in 3 hours. Do you want to save? I need the big, bold, flashing red text. Like, your computer is infected. You know. Two-step verification for saving. Well, it's crazy because, so Clip Studio Paint does autosave. Photoshop, I should turn on autosaving for local files. I'm sure you can do that. The thing is, with the storyboard thing, I was working in Animate because I don't have Storyboard Pro, so I'm like, we have Storyboard Pro at home and it's Animate and it's terrible. But you can't even save FLA files on the Creative Cloud server anymore. They don't support FLA files, even though it's a literal Adobe program. When I was still animating on Flipperclip, I had just finished all my line art, accidentally deleted the layer, and you cannot undo deleting a layer in Flipperclip. Wait, really? That seems like a huge oversight. I feel like we all have the we accidentally deleted a file story and then my life was ruined for the rest of the day. Can't undo merging layers in Flipperclip. Okay, Flipperclip sounds like Satan's animation program. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds brutal to use. Flip-a-clip was a nightmare, but a fun nightmare. Honestly, I'm surprised that you can merge layers in an animation program now that I think about it. I feel like I've never... I don't know. I know that Animate you can't merge layers. You have to, like, do some finagling, like copy the whole thing and paste it on a new layer, etc. Is Pencil still around? Pencil was a jank animation program. Hold on. Pencil 2D, open source animation software. Oh my gosh, it just got an update like 2 days ago. Wait, hold on, I have to show you guys this. This was one of my first animation programs. This Pencil 2D. How do I mute it? Thank you. Look at this. Fun fact, this is what all of Call of the Wild and Into the Wild from Tribble of Doom and stuff like that was animated on. Was Pencil. This was in 2020. It was crazy. It's crazy that this is like... Okay, this person actually knows how to animate. Yeah, it was a pretty jank program. Pencil doesn't have an undo button? Exciting new features from 2024. What's their new features? Iconic redesign. Okay, so they let you adjust the layer now. And keyframe opacity. Fade in, fade out. They actually have a camera now, which is kind of crazy. Onion skinning. I do remember you being able to onion skin. It looks like they have an undo button now. Don't you see? Do you see it? Maybe that's not the undo button, but that looks like the undo button. That might be like the go back one frame, go forward one frame, but I think that's an undo redo button. Yeah, check it out. I'd be interested. You guys make me want to do like a month that's like... Oh, sorry, I just clicked on the VTuber. You guys make me want to do a month where like we just test out an animation program every stream and we like spend one stream focused on one animation program and then I like do a tier list of which ones I think are like the easiest to pick up, which ones I think have the most features, which ones, etc. Although I couldn't like... I'd have to do a... I don't know. A trial or something for some of them. It does sound like fun. A lot of work? Yeah, it probably would be a little hectic, but it could be fun. And it's like, what can I accomplish after opening the program for the first time? And like using it for 4 hours or something? Like, what was my end result? It'd probably be a pretty cool, like, video essay type of video. My first animation software is drawing frames on paper and putting them into a stop-motion app. Yeah, that's true, that's true. I feel like one of the days we'd have to do, like, sticky note or, like, just paper animation, right? I don't have a setup for that at all, though. So it'd have to be, like, digital. Because I don't really have the ability to, like, stream my desk or something like that. And I don't have a light box. I mean, realistically, desk stream win. My desk is in pretty bad shape right now. I've got broken glasses. As in, like, one of my blue light lens glasses broke. I need to replace them. The MS Paint with Windows Movie Maker. I feel like I could still do the MS Paint. We could have an MS Paint day and try to animate on, like, modern day MS Paint. I feel like, honestly, that would be a good idea for August, because you could say Animation August or something like that. You could give it a nice, catchy name. I will say, MS Paint is a pretty goated program. I did animate in MS Paint my first, probably like 2 or 3 times before I started, well, before I found Pencil, and then got Adobe Flash from one of my friends. Look at this. Turn the opacity off a little bit. It's berry time. Mini flip books in the corners. If you didn't make mini flip books with the corners of your notepad, notebooks and stuff like that, are you really an animator? Just animating the ball bouncing. Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea, Whimsy. I think it'd be interesting to host like a community project where it's like the only maybe it's like a scriptless, I don't know, but the only requirement is use a program that you're not familiar with. Like use at least one new program when you're making the part. Whether it be just animating on pen and paper or just do something different that you're not used to try to like push yourself out of your comfort zone. Flipbook animations and secondhand textbooks for the animation equivalent of cave paintings. Yeah, I guess a lot of people draw on their phones now, which is just like inconceivable to me. And I feel like, I might be able to borrow. I don't have an iPad, but what if I could like, yeah, which I feel like, for the challenge to be interesting, I would love to be able to differentiate also the cost of animating like on paper versus animating on a laptop, because I do think that overall, even though like Clip Studio Paint, what I'm using right now, when you're using it on a desktop or a laptop, it's a one-time payment of $100, whereas Clip Studio Paint on iPad does not have the option of a one-time subscription. Well, it's not a one-time payment, pay to own. It's only subscription based. And I've heard, I think it was last stream when I was animating in Clip Studio, somebody said that the timeline in Clip Studio on mobile is very janky and doesn't like to be messed with. But I'd love to try out Kurita. I'd love to try out, I would love to try Pencil again. I would love to try Flip-A-Clip. I know a lot of people use, I think some people use can you animate in Procreate? Ibis Paint? I don't know if Ibis, let me look at if Ibis is on. See, I would only be able to use like desktop program. I think Ibis Paint is, oh, it's on Mac. It looks like it's $60 though. Yeah. I don't have that type of money. I mean, I guess I could do one of those streams where it's like we have a goal and the goal is to do the animation thing and it's literally just a goal to help me pay for these programs. I don't make that much money on YouTube, guys. Peanuts over here. But see, I can't use Procreate. Procreate is a mobile only program. Toon Boom and Moho are far beyond the ranges of accessible for freelance and starter animators. So I know that it's industry standard, but unless you're yo-ho-hoing the 7 Cs, you're not going to be using Toon Boom until you're like in college at this point. Because it's only $6 when you're in college, but as soon as you leave college, they're like, oh yeah, you can definitely afford the $60 a month for a single program now, right? Right out of college? Definitely. Chalk it up. Cough it up. I think I'm on Clip Studio Paint version 1 right now. It's fine. I don't like doing my roughs on it because it kind of is a little choppy, I feel like, timing-wise, as you guys saw. But I do like cleaning up on it. Yeah, Clip Studio Paint is definitely what, when people ask me, should I learn photo? Well, first of all, yes, you probably, if you're planning on doing anything in the industry, you probably should learn how to use Photoshop, period, because it's industry standard for a lot of things, like doing layouts and stuff like that and drawing. It's just because every single company gets the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, so they like. But if you're just starting out, it's a lot more. I think that using Clip Studio is a perfect program to start learning to draw. It's a little bit more extensive than like Photoshop Elements, which is what a lot of people my demographic, like when we first started learning how to draw online, when you got your graphics tablet, it came with like a free Photoshop element, which was basically just a watered down version of Photoshop. Dun, 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 dun. And I think that Clip Studio Paint around the holidays, when it goes on sale, it's like the perfect price to ask for a Christmas gift of. So, I don't know. It's a pretty good program. I have no qualms using it. The only thing that I like, I mean, I do usually do my finishing touches on Photoshop, like color correction. I like the quick masking of Photoshop more. I like just doing my final touches in Photoshop. Just because I mean, when I was in college, I learned how to use Photoshop, so I'm like to a greater extent than I learned on my own. Me when I'm Holly Leaf and I'm looking at you, judging you. I mean, Yellowfang's also kind of judging me. I feel like Holly Leaf is staring a little bit more judging though. I use MediaBang. I don't know about that one. Sometimes I feel like I do have the fear that my definition of an easy to pick up program and somebody who's younger and their definition of a easy to pick up program would differ a lot, because at the end of the day, I have a lot of experience working on drawing programs in general. So being able to pick that up is going to be easier for me, period. Yeah. I wanted this to be like Asher. I wanted it to be eyeballs of like important characters too. Polyleaf and Yellowfang. I might make the other one, when I flip this, I might make the other one like a dark orange, like a Broken Star kind of amber. And then maybe like a green for... I kind of want to use Firestar or something. I don't know. Toon Squid's on mobile only. Yeah. Adobe Anime is not the only program that has rigging. In fact, I don't think I've ever used the rigging tools of Adobe Anime. I feel like most rigging shows nowadays are done on Toon Boom. I would say like the majority of shows that you're watching on like Cartoon Network and stuff are done, and like indie animations are done on Toon Boom. Or Moho maybe, but I don't know that many that are done on Moho that are like indie animations. You cannot escape the Toon Boom rigging. I don't think I've ever rigged an animation. I've always mocked rigged. So like in Neglected Space, there's 2 shots in my part 1 or whatever it is. I think it's part 1. And there's like this very shapely cat spirit that circles around rock, and it looks like it might be, it looks like it's rigged, right? But it's not. I hand modified all of the pieces. I did it in Japanese history class with my trackpad. I just animated it. Well, I was not paying attention and still got an A in that class. It's not rigged, no, it's hand animated. But it's like... I don't know how to explain how I did that part, but basically what happened was I had... I had these individual shapes, right? I had these individual shapes I had created. And it's hard to explain if you don't know what animating is. Or, sorry, not animate. It's hard to explain if you don't know how animate works. But basically, I had these shapes that were symbols, right? And so I tweened the symbols. I didn't tween them, sorry. I modified the symbols around. I did it. And then when I had everything worked out, I broke apart all of the symbols and I cleaned up the drawing so that it was all one cohesive thing, because there were like parts of the snake that were like this. And so I broke it apart, cleaned it up so that cleaned it up hold on. Yeah. I like cleaned it up. This is why I did it all with my trackpad. It was like busy work while I wasn't paying attention in class. And then I, you know. Like, hold on. I don't have the file's not on this computer. This computer was not born during that part. I did that on my laptop. Hold on, let me look at my videos. Here's my MAParts. Yeah. So what happened was, here, I'll show you. And you can kind of see it in the part. Yeah, I mean, it's more akin to puppet work, probably. So, like, when I was animating it, like, this was a section. This was a section. Like, I think the whole head was a section. This was its own section. This, like, little thing. This would have been a section. This was probably a whole section. And then I did the whole lines. And then when I was finished, the way that animate works is you can break up lines. So then you can just clean it up right here. And I cleaned up all that. Cleaned up all this. And then all that's left is, like, what you guys see here. But you can see some of the, like, mess ups. Like this little dot right here. Do you see that dot? Like, that means I didn't clean it up properly. Kind of see it. Yeah, that's how I did that part. Yeah. So all of them were individually moved. I moved all of them individually. Yeah. And then this interior was done in After Effects. I, like, masked something into it to get that, like, polygonal thing. But, like, yeah, see? I forgot to clean this up. You can see, sort of. Like, I forgot to clean this part up. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. Like, right here. Like, I should have cleaned this. To be, like... Probably? I don't remember. And I probably would have cleaned up this, too. If I was thinking. Yeah, because it's up there like that. But yeah, all of these are, like, separate parts. So I did all this on the trackpad. I don't think I used... I think I just did this in class. Like, this shot. And then Rock's, like, idle animation was probably done in After Effects, too. What the heck? Yeah, because I used After Effects a lot for this part. So I probably animated all of this. And I probably did all of his, like, all the lighting on Rock I probably did in After Effects. Yeah, because this is just, like, a wiggle. He's just got, like, the wiggle rotation on. Anyway, quite satisfied with that part. It's one of my personal, like, turned out exactly how I needed it to turn out. Was like, tried a couple new things, everything ended up fine. I was like, all right. Quite a satisfying map part for me. I think that one, Neglected Space, and I think like Devil's Backbone are probably two of my like, I wouldn't change, like even going back to them now, I wouldn't change a single thing. I'm like, they turned out exactly how I needed them to turn out. I was able to do everything I needed. Those are probably like the two that I'm most satisfied with. Which part, what was my least favorite? I'm not gonna lie, some of my least favorite parts are in Five Giants. I think the issue is that a lot of the times when I join a map, I'm a late joiner. So I join as a backup and or like helper or like as one of the crunch crew, I guess I would call them, where I am on standby for a lot of, like, I would be on standby for a lot of my friends' maps, and when somebody dropped very quickly, but the map was almost finished, I would hop in and I would be like, I can finish this part in a couple days. So there's a lot of map parts that I did under extreme crunch that obviously if I wasn't crunching, I would have done a couple things different. By the Stars was like that. Meet Me in the Woods was like that. I Will Be There was like that. A lot of the Roxanne parts, other than my first one, obviously if I had more time, I would have made them a little more satisfactory. So yeah. But like I said, you guys know my motto is that it's always better to have a finished product than the perfect product. So being somebody with that mindset, I work good as like a crunch member because I will get you your product and get the map out there for people. Is there a map I wished I joined? No. I try not to think like that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I guess, I remember getting a message about Ready As I'll Ever Be when Hita was pre-producing the map. Hita had messaged me and asked if I would let them use some of the old concept work I did for Dovewing for Omen of the Stars. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I guess I kind of wish I would have joined the map, but it turned out perfect. Projects don't need me. I think that's the only time that I've ever... Yeah, and even then I don't really regret it. The fact of the matter is I'm pretty sure I didn't join that map because it was a lip-sync map, and I don't like lip-sync maps, so... It's probably why I passed on it then. Well, okay, I like lip-sync maps. I don't like animating in them, but I do love lip-sync maps. But at that point in my life, I was like, I don't want to animate lip-syncing. So... I say as I took a lip sync part in Dreamies. But Dreamy, I want the blender. Dreamy conned me into making it a Mothlight lip sync. It is iconic. Yeah, I think lip syncing for me is too... I'm definitely in the minority, but I do like animating more like establishing shots, far away characters, close-ups on like nature, stuff like that. And I quickly learned, I think. At some point in my animation map career, I realized that people... I realized that I did not have the drive to just animate something. My drive came from creating and finishing projects and, like, I don't know, making something. Pine needles. It's okay, we're almost done. We're going to mirror this, and then we'll have to adjust it ever so slightly. And then we'll do the finishing touches on the smoke background, and then we can work on something else. The finishing touch needs being that I need to bring it into Photoshop and do some quick masking on it. Right now I'm just adding some extra little pine needle silhouettes so that it looks a little bit more interesting. Well, technically they're U needles, but they are needles. How long did this take? A couple hours. I worked on it yesterday night for a couple hours. Like 2-ish hours, and then a couple nights before I had worked on it for a couple hours. It's probably like 6 or 7. Ah! You guys made me say that! No! Ugh. Whatever, man. Life comes at you quick. Y'all conned me into saying it. I honestly don't know why they had that tree with those berries at my preschool. Coffee's trying to kill me by going down the wrong windpipe. I might make the whiskers a little bit, more pronounced. Maybe like whiter? I'll get her on my, I'll get her on my, grayscale soon. Give me a sec. Shiny whiskers. Okay. Which one has the whiskers? Stick them on, like, maybe this color? I mean, whatever. Okay. So we're gonna cheat a little bit. I'm going to group these together. I'm gonna put them on a through layer. And then call this the U. No, not yes, U. Yes, U. Okay. Control V. Save my hands. Okay, I want you guys to know that line arting this side last night killed my wrist. So we are cheating on live stream. Thank you. Bye. Oh my gosh, you're animating the bugs under a rock shot. I love those shots. I'm so excited you got that shot. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Let me save as... I'm gonna save a duplicate Photoshop document. We'll pull it into Photoshop. Clip Studio Paint also does this thing I've noticed where my Mac version of Clip Studio Paint makes everything a lot more vibrant than it is on this desktop. I swear when I was doing this on my MacBook, this was a lot more vibrant. So I'm pulling it over to Photoshop to just probably color correct ever so slightly. So let me put this in new folder. Oh, I already have a folder for bitter medicine. Thank you. I'm saving it. Let me see what else is in here. Okay, yes. And then I need to open up this. I need to save this as a... Man, this one is a lot more rendered. It's okay. Save this as a Photoshop document. This one feels a lot more flat. But we're gonna open up these in... Photoshop. Bitter medicine is going to be like... Basically, I'm calling it right now. Bitter medicine is going to be the map of 2026. It's going to be my favorite project. It's not just because I worked on it. Because I barely did anything. It's just going to be a friggin' banger. Okay. Not sure which app to get when you're switching to desktop? I would get Clip Studio Paint. I think Kurita is free though. So you could technically get both. Doing some final touches. It has you pay for a larger subscription in order to log in on poor PC units. I mean, I've only paid once for 2 units, and I haven't found any issues with just having 2. Where's my texture? I wonder... Okay, this is why I like Photoshop, because now what I can do is go to my adjustments. I can do some curves. I can, as one say, shops the photo. Curve it down a little bit. Okay. I think in this bottom, let me adjust the level, let me adjust the vibrance a little bit. And then let me invert the mask. And let me hit the fire with a little bit more vibrance. Some of the tree leaves. Yeah, you see how like in grayscale it just, there's a little bit more contrast. It's not too much more. I think it works a little bit better. I do want this darker part inside the U-berry to be darker though. And then I think what I'll do is, let me turn the flow down on this one. I should be able to get the same as the crayon brush with this. Or the mechanical pencil, I meant. Painting the inside just makes them look all the more juicier. Okay. Open up the other one. Oh shoot, I did want to change the... Okay, so we can do the eye colors really cool. This is... I'm just going to show you guys how to do everything in Photoshop. So we're going to turn on a gradient map. Something like that. Gradient map maps the saturation to the color that you pick. We're going to invert it. We're going to take our white. Now I can edit it. Bring this darker. Bring this up. I don't think we need this one. Desaturate it a little bit. Just hit the other side. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll stick that on. Maybe on the overlay. Push that in. Desaturate it a little bit more. Okay. We will duplicate that. What is down here? Interesting. We'll make this one green. Hey, Rock. Okay. Let's try messing with the curves of this. I don't think... Actually, no. I think I just want to... I think the curves are fine. It looks good in grayscale. I think I just want to maybe up the vibrance just a little bit. Just ever so slightly. The brushes I used on this, I was in Clip Studio and I used the default watercolor and mechanical pencil. Okay. Credits. Yep, you can still see their eyes. That's all that I needed. Where'd my music go? Bagel. This one is a lot more busy. Honestly, I don't know if it needs the vibrance. I mean, it might actually benefit from... lowering the contrast on it. I don't know. It's fine. Looking at it, looking at it. Yeah, I think this one ended up a little bit more complicated than I intended it to look. But I think I'm done messing around with it for now. I'll open it up one more time before I send it over to you, Lettuce. Okay. The other thing that we wanted to do on stream is... Okay. What else? No problem, Lettuce. Thank you for asking me to help. I was very honored. We were working on this last stream. Okay, I'm gonna go refill my coffee. And you guys can pick between painting, layout, roughing, shot 2. So that's like doing the rough animations. Or line art for shot 2, which is like doing the grass. You guys can pick. So painting shot 1 Roughing shot 2 or line art shot 2. You guys will want to do roughing. I'm gonna come back and you guys gonna make me animate, and I hate you for it. I'm just kidding, but I'll be right back while you guys vote. Hello, I'm back. Alrighty, what do we got? Painting and roughing are the same. Oh, we're tied? Y'all don't want to see line art? We did just do a bunch of line art. Okay, there's 49 votes. There's 90 people here. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. I'm going to close out of Clip Studio Paint while that's happening. Last call on votes. If it's a tie, I'm flipping a coin, by the way. And we'll leave it up to chance. Can I vote in my own pool? I don't think so. One more vote to get to 60? Okay, we're ending it. Oh, never mind, 61. Oh, so many votes for line art. Wow. Okay, we're ending it. We're flipping a coin. You guys asked for it. Okay, heads. We'll work on the animation. Tails will work on finishing up the painting. Are you ready? God darn it. We're doing animation. I have to set everything up. Give me a sec. Okay, let me open it up. I'm trying to remember. Give me a sec. Let me switch over to Photoshop. Let me switch over to Animate. What part is this? 36. Okay, let me get the copy link. Okay, we've got to do the roughs for this shot right here. I'm actually probably, oh, I'm gonna have to plug in my headphones, aren't I? Give me a couple minutes. New. Full HD. Oh, this is another thing. I'm not sure. I guess it doesn't matter for Leaf Pool because we're just gonna bake the camera movement into her and I'll suffer later. So we'll just create it as 1920 by 1080. And then we'll... We'll copy these frames. Well, actually, I forgot that you can't, like, crop audio in... That is not what I wanted. For, like, specific shots, I have to... Okay, hold on. Okay. Let me close out Photoshop. We are going to Get all of this in here. We just won't animate. Paste. I'll just copy the whole thing. Yeah, we'll just ignore that for now. Can I group these? Yeah. And we'll lock that. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is remove this frame. We need to probably do something. See ya, Scott. I need to plug in my headphones because I need no audio delay because I want to animate the walk cycle first. And I plugged in a headphone. I'm plugging in my headphones. Okie dokie. Let me switch your guys' audio. Let me switch your guys' audio to my headphone jack. I think that's it. No. Hey, you guys need to be in the headphones? No. You guys need to be in... this one, I think. Okay. Now I don't have my delay. Yeah. Okay. Let me pull in leaf pools. Okay. The last frame, yes, this foot was just about to hit the ground, so we are lined up. I don't want this on. I want my size to be like about right here. I sketch with really thick line art. Let's... oh gosh, let me think about this. In my mind... let me turn down the music. How's the music for you guys? It was loud for me when I plugged it in, so I would like to know. I think I'll just kind of sketch some roughs with, like, the head for now. With just the ball head. It's perfect? Okay. Let me know if the Taylor Swift being all glitchy is too loud. I can always turn it down for you guys, I think. We won't worry about the muzzle right now. I think I want the actual... So, let me... So she ends the frame with her head down into the center. So let's actually modify this so that she's more front-facing. We'll have her kind of head down a little bit. And then she's kind of like, that's her forearm. Let's save this, by the way. Who's afraid of little old me? Who's afraid of little old me? Shot 2, Annie Ruff, version 1. Thank you. I do want her head to be twisted just ever so slightly this way, I think. I'm honestly not going to worry about the back legs right now. So while this one's walking, this leg, so... Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I want her to hit the ground when she goes, am. Yeah. Yeah, so I have it timed right. Okay. And then she can kind of twist her head a little bit this way. I want her to not be... I want her to have a little bit more restricted, like, controlling herself movements than I did in the boards. I remember when I finished up the boards, her head was a little bit too aggressive at the end of it, so I'm just trying to keep that in mind. But I do want her head to kind of like... It's gonna be this way, I think, when she brings this foot forward, because her shoulder is gonna push her head over a little bit. And this is her shoulder, this is her elbow. Foot is gonna get a little bit bigger. And then when this one hits the ground, this one's about to lift up. So we'll give her a moment of having both of them on the ground. This one's going to be going back into, so it's going to get a little bit smaller. And then... Wait, what? Why is this one showing up again? Oh, because did I draw it on the camera layer? I think it's because I don't have... Here, let me just put all the frames in. Yeah. And yeah, and I want when she goes, she hits the ground, and then when she's going, what? I want her to have the arc up, like she hasn't hit the ground yet, but I want her to be arcing when she's saying what. Because then I can kind of like have her head also move, I think. So let's do another key sort of right here. And we're looking down at her, so keep that in mind every time you draw the ball, that she is from an upward angle. And I'm gonna have to look to see how much her head should change. When a cat's walking, it's more bounding up and down. It's not really going forward, I think. I think that if it would get bigger, like it should technically be bigger here, I think, when the gate is at its full position. But then as this one's in the air, it should be smaller, I think, if I'm like visualizing this in a 3D space properly. I'll have to see it in action. And I want to keep that, like, curve. And then her shoulders hitting right here. She's kind of like pulling up her legs a lot. Let's try keeping it more down to the ground. Because the higher I pull up her legs, the more unnatural it's going to look. Like, cats don't really... They kind of be feet dragging, I feel like, sometimes. They ain't prittle prancing all the time. Especially if they're stalking, right? Hey, Dawn. But I also want her to be, like, emphasizing her words with her feet, so I have to kind of balance it, I think. Oh, she's saying cuz. But, like, the same thing. I am cuz. And then when she stops is when I want this leg to hit. Yeah. Yeah, when we get that, like, kind of hard S is when we can finally hit the ground running. Did my music disappear again? Thank you. Actually, I want Mario Kart music. I need the Mario Kart music. Thank you. Hey, Ash. And then I kind of want her to be facing completely forward at the end of this shot because she's getting closer and closer to Mothlight, who she's confronting. So I think I want her to end on like a very front facing. No. Hit the loop right here, please. See, I think that even this one is like, it's too different. Like, she can be more front-facing on this one. The streams got me back into that map craze. I was watching anime with Fire and R went like Silky Silver last night, and they were like, "Yeah, what were you doing before watch night, Jessica?" And I was like, "You guys are gonna think I'm back in 2016, but I was working on a map part." It's the summer, baby. I can do whatever I want. Just kidding. Maybe just a little bit more to the side. I am cuz. As in cousin, I am cousin. Ay. Okay, let's mute it for now. So I don't go freaking insane. Let's do some basic in-betweens. Well, I am hoping to post that Frostpaw map soonish. Ish. Being the keyword there. But I gotta get back into the groove of animating before then. You're turning into a Swiftie right before your eyes. I gotta tell you guys, I haven't listened to a Taylor Swift album since Romeo and Juliet came out, and then I'll see the ones that were on the radio. Okay, hold this one. Let's just do... I just want to do some in-betweens first. I can, like, nail the timing later in life. Jessica from 10 minutes in the future cursing my name yet again. This is based on a book that's a little bit later. This is based on Squirrel Flight's scene that's in Squirrel Flight's home. I want to hold this a little bit. But before I do that, let me do another frame over here. Yeah, Laura might get timed out for 24 hours. Do I have any mods in chat? Mod check, mod check. Agnolia, are you sleeping? I know. I would just prefer to keep the chat in one language. I don't really want people speaking Japanese in chat either, even though I could probably respond. I like to keep it in one language to once we start speaking in different languages, it starts to get just a little bit too hectic. Yeah. Sorry, using all my brain. You guys know how it is when I rough. I'm like dead silent. Not looking at chat. Ignoring everyone. Aw, thanks, Hollow. My leaf full design I'm okay with. It's definitely one of the designs where I'm pretty satisfied with it. I don't really know how I would add to it. If anything, I would remove some stuff from it, so... I think I'm gonna kind of have it go like this. I feel like I could definitely have the... Maybe she goes up a little bit more? Yeah, because then... And then right here, we can have, like... her head can kind of keep swinging this way a little bit. But then this one is too... This one needs to be moved then. Maybe if we like have her swing it. And then right here, we can kind of have her like finish the arc. So she kind of goes like this, maybe. Like I am cuz. Yeah, animating does take all my brain cells. Oh shoot, I just dropped my tablet pen. And I'm plugged in. Okay. Okay. And then I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this for now. For all her leggy. I don't like this one. I think this one might have to go a little bit up. There's something catching right there. Right here. Take this one, redraw this one. And I think that her head, let's add another in between, because I don't think her head should start moving until she's finished with Am. So we'll convert to the keyframe here. So on this frame, I'm gonna use this head, and then I'm gonna delete the head from this. Yeah. And then we'll redraw this one to favor the blue one. And then we'll just draw this keyframe. Not keyframe, sorry, in between, whatever. I didn't go to animation school. It's just pictures to me. Perfect. I would like to... I feel like... Okay, well, we need one right here. Me doing anything other on anything other than 4s and 3s. Catch me never. Okay. That sounds like something a person that likes to animate would do. Okay, and then have her paw kind of swoop this way. Take off the border. Hey, Fat. Hey, Golden. You get very cool animation. I get your remaining brain cells type of stuff. Yeah, I don't know how people, like, animate all day long. I feel very exhausted animating for, like, 2 hours. Like, I don't know how people are able to do it all day long for, like, a job and stuff. Crazy. I feel like she could bring her head closer when she's saying I am. Like when she's hitting that am when her mouth is open, I think I could probably pull her closer to the camera. No, it's too much. It doesn't look natural. I do want to. There's something right here. I feel like I want to redraw this one. Now it's getting caught right here. I feel like I want this to be held though. Oh, I'm drawing on. You guys see all these boxes? That means I accidentally typed stroke to symbol. Now I have to break apart. There is a quick key object drawing mode that sometimes I'll click. Yeah. And you have to go back and break apart all your stupid pictures. Yeah, we can hear the animation audio. I don't know how to shut it off for you guys, but keep it on for me. Also, be right back. I'm gonna turn on the AC in this room. I don't think that it's enough of the audio. I haven't been, and I'm gonna knock on wood. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me in the grand scheme of things, but I haven't, knock on wood, been copyright claimed because I think it's only like a 2-second clip of the audio, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't like, I feel like this one right here needs to be held on the frame before she snaps back. Yeah. Yeah. This is not a free program, though it works just as well as a free program. Let's be real. Okay, let's add the back leggies, maybe. So when this one's pulling up, this leg is gonna be up. This one is gonna be going backwards. Let me write key on this. I'm gonna write key on this. Key on this. Key on this. But yeah, I mean, what I'm doing right now, you could do on any program that has a good timeline. Kirita is free. I know people use it. Pencil is free. That's what I started with. Working on getting stuff to decorate my new PC room. 4 of my clan prints. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I will fill that order when I stop streaming. Okay, so this key, this leg just hit the ground. This one is gonna be back here. I don't know if it'll be seen. She's got hair and everything, so I have no idea how much of this back is actually gonna get seen. But this one just hit the ground, like, up here. So we'll move it a little bit. And now this one would be up. I'm probably gonna have to look up a reference image to see what cats look like from the top walk-in. But I'm honestly, I don't really think I'm gonna worry too much about how the back looks because until like after. Okay, now it just hit the ground. Until I finish like getting the hair and stuff, because I don't even know how much is going to be on. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Eh, I'm not gonna worry about it. I can't get it right without looking at a reference. Which is going to slow down the stream, so we're just not gonna worry. We're just gonna pretend that she is a bipedal cat. She only has front legs and no back legs. Okay. Let's clean up her face a little bit more. We'll do this as leaf pool. Rough, maybe, I guess? Oh, freaking. This is not timed out properly. I guess I should probably time it out, but I don't care. Smile. Oh, she's got the swirlies. She's looking forward. And her eyes are kind of squinted. And she's got the swirls. And I tie this one down to the eye level. This gets tied down to where the eyes start. And then I'll give her one fluffy on this side, maybe. One fluffy on this side. Ah! Thanks. Really appreciate when you do that, Animate. She has... It doesn't matter. We'll have that fluff hit that. Bald pool. Draw her hair really quick. And then she has her leaves. Oh god, she's so complicated in the head. Got her tufts. We'll have the diamond kind of follow the shape of... Ugh. Okay. Maybe something like that. Oh yes, and I also forgot that Dreamy added even more freckles to her. Ay caramba. Lower the brush size just a tad. Sorry, I'm concentrating again. Yeah, keep this distance about the same. This is the bottom of the eyes, the top of the eyes. I think her nose needs to be slightly bigger. Bigger snout, maybe. I want her to keep her eyes on Mothfly when she's tilting her head around. Coffee. And then get her ears in there. Her ears kind of go like this. They're gonna be pushed back the whole time. This one, okay, so the curly kind of hits this. I'll have a little bit of it showing. This one goes like this. Wait till she becomes a VTuber. If I had a VTuber, I'd want a photorealistic Apple VTuber model, so it just looks like Apple is talking to you guys. Your snout is too big. And then I think she just needs to be a little here. too long. These curls, man, they're gonna be the death of me. Okay, this is what's happening. I think her forehead is, like, her ears are too tall on her head. Bring him down. Yeah. Well, this one also... I think that's fine. I don't like doing my roughs in Clip Studio Paint because it's not a vector program. So all of these little tiny adjustments I'm doing, because I'm doing it in Animate, I'm not losing any quality when I'm, like, adjusting it. But if I was in Clip Studio Paint right now, every time I adjusted it would get lower and lower quality. So that's why. So I'll bring it over to Clip Studio Paint to do my final line work, because I like the lines in Clip Studio Paint, but I don't like doing the full animation in it. Not like Animate. I don't think using the pin tool to create vectored lines is not exactly the same as, like, being able to stroke them. However badly Animate lets me, it still lets me stroke these lines like I'm doing right now into vector. Oh, she has tufts, too. Of course she has. Why does she have such a complicated design? That's fine. I'm not forcing anyone to use Animate. In fact, I would strongly advise you to never, ever use Animate. But as somebody that's been animating in Flash and Animate for, what is it, 2026? 17 years? feel quite confident in the program. To like, I mean, on its ins and outs at least. And it's a lot more cost-friendly for somebody like me who doesn't work in the animation industry and doesn't have access to Toon Boom. Which is another program that lets you sketch in vectors. No, Dreamy added more stuff to her. And I'm allowed to complain because Dreamy's my friend. What you have right here is regular leaf pool. But Dreamy added bits and pieces to her. Hold on. See? Dreamy added tufts, 2 leaves, multiple freckles, and curly cheek hair. See? I don't know, maybe I'll get rid of her neck fluff from this angle. We'll see. It's gonna be pretty hard to see it soon. And then her shoulder. Can you zoom in, please? Why is it not the same? Okay. I want to adjust the mouth a little bit. Why can't I just hold control and press my zoom, my scroll button on my keyboard for this program? Her muzzle is getting... It needs to be a little bit more like this. Round around the edges. I don't want it to be too square. No, this is too big now. I feel like... something like that. I think her head is skinnier on this angle. I don't think it looks too different. Let me make the roughs a little bit lighter. Anything is better. I mean, you can animate in Clip Studio all the way. You can do it. It's fairly easy. I just like the timeline in Animate. The important thing about your animation program is that you think that the timeline is easy to use. It's the most important part about the program. For me, at least. Hi, Holly. First day in nurse aid classes. Ooh. Hopefully it was fun. Three-hour class. That is not too bad of a time. Is it like once a week? Okay. Those toughies are driving me bonkers. You're always streaming when I get out of class? Oh, nice. I'll be streaming for probably... I don't know. My hand is starting to hurt, which does typically happen when I animate. We'll see how much longer I can go. Something like that, maybe. I don't want her to show her claws. At first I thought she could like flex her claws here. But I don't want her to feel like I want her to feel intimidating, but I don't want her to feel like she's like threatening. Like I want her to just feel confident in what she's saying, right? So I don't think she needs to flex her claws. I don't have carpal tunnel. I definitely have some tendinitis in my wrist, though. I did my stretches while I went to go get my coffee. It's like doing the tedious, like, in-betweens, like, or trying to clean up these, like, keyframes first. That starts to get me. Okay, she is swinging her head around, but I am gonna make an executive decision to kind of keep her hair mainly to swooped to one side. The swoop is kind of hitting right here. Okay, add the toughies. And the leaves. We'll just have one leaf there. I think. Yeah. We'll just have it kind of hidden back behind. Phone/finger animators. I don't really even know how you would have enough control with your line art to do like finger drawing. Because your finger's taking up all of the area. I mean, it's one thing when you're like drawing with the pen and you've got the little tip, but like when it's your finger, it's just like, I don't know. Here, I'll stop playing the music. You have to zoom in like crazy, I bet. Okay. Let me actually try to hit this again. Because So I think it's the same angle. She's just like a slightly closer to the camera. She definitely is... Her head is definitely getting wider. No, keep it big. I had it big for a reason. Just make it smaller. Yeah. And I actually think I want this one to be lifting off the ground a little. This one hits the ground in the frame before, yeah. So let's lift this one off because in the next one, in the next shot... Yeah, she's got this one about to hit. Like she's gonna lift it up and then hit it on to the ground. So we'll have her lifting it. I don't know. Is it gonna read okay? How did I draw it on this one? Okay, it was already up a little bit. Okay, her hair on this frame needs to be... It's kind of getting a little funky. Bigger curl. It's gonna look a little funky. But try to loosen the funk. And we'll keep her Tuffy on this other side. Or on this side of her, even though technically I think it's kind of like right in the middle of her hair. But I always kind of draw it off to the side, so I don't care. We'll have it go a little bit. Maybe? It's throwing me off for sure. It might be better to just draw it straight ahead when the rusts are done. Or tie downs or whatever this part is called. I don't know. Just treat it like a tail. Hey, man. I'm gonna write key again on these so that I remember when I bring it into Clip Studio. Ooh, it's dancing. Okay. I think I'm gonna shift this one over just a tad. It's kind of throwing me off. I think. She is grooving. I'm gonna call this leaf pool clean for now. I think I did this one next. Ah! That's a lot of information. That is so much information. Leaf pool has layers. It feels like I have more than two layers on my onion skin right now, but I don't. There's just so much information. Movie reference. You've never seen Shrek, Darkleaf? That's pretty sad. Okay. Oh, God. Shrek is not just a kid's movie. Shrek is fun for all ages. Do you have any suggestions for people that might be new to art into animation? Like, can you, like, for what? For programs, for, like, drawing traditionally, for learning anatomy, for learning coloring, any... If you're just starting, I just draw what you want. And not worry about, like... Find a program, find a medium that you're comfortable in, that you like drawing in. Should be your, like, first thing. Okay. Boogle was made. I know. Boogle. Okay. The Boogle and all of us. Does that look good? I feel like I should have another in between in there, but we'll work on it later. Boogle would be so hard to draw. He's got a very 3D character design where, like, they don't actually have to draw him. Her eyes, are they too... No, they're staying about the same length away from each other. We should definitely get her probably like right here, I'd say. I feel like she's more straight on. Are you guys having fun watching me draw and say like one word a second or a minute? Are you all having fun yet? I am Firewolf. There was never Boogle. I need to watch that movie. It's on Netflix. It's pretty short. Though it'll feel a lot longer than it actually is, for the most part. Its pacing is pretty bad. You don't have Netflix? Oh. Wow, I drew that pretty spot on for not having anything onion skinned on. Yeah, I'll definitely need a keyframe. Ugh, am I gonna have to? We'll see, we'll see. Tried any anatomy tips? I mean, I do the like you guys saw, right? I do the wireframe. It helps me like keep everything there, but other than just like drawing cats all the time, there's not really any easy way to get used to anatomy, honestly. Alrighty guys, that's all I think I got in me for today. I'll convert these to blank keyframes. And I'll lock it so that you can see it. Let me turn on the sketch layer. Of course I made the background the same exact color as my roughs. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, we need to work on the timing a little bit. There you go. Yeah, it's much easier to have if you have like a... There are certain art styles that I think are harder to animate. Not in like a tween sense. Yeah, I did. The leaf full map is pinned. What are you talking about? Ah, yes. Anyway, you guys, let me open up, while you guys watch this, I'm gonna open up some coffee commissions, because my next stream will be on Sunday. We have two shaded chibis already, so I'm only going to open up one more slot. Let me look to see what they look like. But I'm hungry. I'm about to go cook myself a hamburger. Okay, that one is pretty easy. What's this one look like? That one is a little harder. But it's not too bad. Nothing angry or sad. Okay, yeah. So yes, I will open up one slot. We'll see what we get. And we'll see if another one will open. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching me animate. I know when I animate my roughs and stuff, I mean, when I animate in general, I'm not very talkative. It does take a lot of energy in the form of brain power, so it's hard for me to focus on... Since I'm new to, like, streaming and animating lately, I have to remember to, like, talk my thoughts out loud, where I usually do that when I'm, like, doing layouts or illustrations. So please bear with me. I will get better at probably streaming and animating, though I'm not sure how much. Right now, we've pretty much only been doing MAParts this month, but this is my fun month. I was stressing for the last 2 months. This is my fun month. I get to work on fun things. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on Sunday and or Thursday. I'm gonna go eat something, and I suggest you should too. But yeah, until next time, bye-bye.